Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. This week's episode is entitled Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. And it's been a little too positive around here, guys. It's been a while. Yeah. Since we truly shit on some games and gaming related stuff. We know that we have been, like I said, way too positive as of late. It just doesn't feel right, you know? And we know that you want to hear us just berate the ever-loving piss out of some games. Again, obviously, we are the voice of the people for 30-something dudes. White dudes.
Extremely diverse.
Doing work that was never asked of us. You're welcome, world. So join us this week as we not so begrudgingly came up with lists of some of the worst that we've ever played or attempted to play, because I'm a quitter. Buckle up, because this probably won't be gentle. So I don't know about you guys, but I had a pretty easy time coming up with some lists.
I know there is one game at the top of everybody's list that we all share.
Godfall.
Easiest.
That was an easy pick.
I never played it.
Daryl, it is a tech
by
demo
proxy
of how pretty the PS5 can be, and that is it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's at the top of your list by proxy, Daryl.
Yeah.
Well, I just listened to you guys when I was still stuck in my measly PS4 for a while there, just living in my own world, listening to you guys game on it, and then I was like, okay, so I'm not really missing out. This is not a wonderful experience for everybody.
No.
In fact, we're saving you money.
Yes. Yeah. It was kind of fun though. Like I went back through all my PlayStation trophies during time that I might have, been doing work. But I scrolled through and looked for the ones that, had 0% trophies done. Because you could tell that those were like real winners.
It's funny that you say that.
Yeah. Because I had a bunch. Like Godfall was on there for sure. There was a couple that came up on like the PS Plus or PS Extra that were just like, who did I try? There was one called Rogue Stormers. It was like
Sorry, you would.
I also tried this.
Yeah, I think we tried playing that one together, within the first like 10 minutes of it, we're like, fuck this. It was so bad. It wasn't even like a serviceable platform shooter or anything. It was just god awful.
Yeah, not good.
Godfall full.
God falafel. God
falafel. That's right. So that would be my first entry. Between that one, that one and Godfall are my two intro entries. Jordan, since you shared in that horrible experience with me, it only lasted like, okay, that sounds really bad. Since you shared in this short, horrible experience with me, would you like to bounce off of that and maybe give us one or your two? A few?
So I'm going to start with with more of the retro ones, and then as we kind of head further in the episode, I'll get more and more current. I think both of these games, I think at least Daryl has probably played these, but maybe everybody. The first one is Batman Forever on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Yep. That game is like the perfect example of movie video game tie-in, where they're just trying to shovel it out as quick as possible because it's coming out at the same time, as the Keaton movies, and it's fucking terrible.
So you're saying bad. The game was not A Kiss from a Rose?
Oh
no. No, definitely.
It was a kick in the ass, is what it was.
It was maybe a kiss from a butthole, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, technically, like lips and buttholes are the same material.
I don't know how you got to that point.
I don't
talking about kissing.
I don't know what to do with that information.
Skin to skin.
Kyle.
Fuck it.
Science fact of the day.
Science fact.
Sorry, everybody.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that.
When you say the word poop, it's the same as
when you poop.
Actually pooping.
Yeah, there you go.
The same thing can be said for explosive diarrhea.
And there goes the rest of our listeners. The ones that survived up to this point. They're gone.
Bye, folks. It's been good. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, we're not close to the end of a season or anything. Yeah.
Atlanta.
I do gotta say though, Jordan, I think nowadays we don't get it as much. I do miss a good, terrible movie tie-in video game. Like a reverse, like not a video game that's been turned into a movie, but some weird movie that they're like, we need to make a video game of this.
Yeah.
Like The Lion King or Aladdin.
Oh.
Hey,
like,
but you know what? Those games aren't that bad. They're just hard as fuck.
They're just impossible. Yeah.
Aladdin is actually a really good platformer, but it is so fucking hard.
Didn't I read something that the creators of the video game purposely made it more difficult so you couldn't beat it in one rental weekend?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of Super Nintendo games were like that for that exact reason. They just didn't want people to finish it in one rental. So they made it impossible.
If you play most of the platformer games on Super Nintendo over, besides Mario, like, because Mario's pretty vast, but if you play most of them, you can beat it in one sitting.
If you're good enough.
They don't have that much substance, but it's like, holy shit, did they make those games hard? Like, this generation of gamers would just cry in a puddle if they had to play some of these games. Like,
except Souls gamers, they're set.
That's a different breed. You guys are.
Most of those games, like I remember the side scroller beat 'em ups like Final Fight. You would get one continue, amongst 3 or 4 players, and that was it. So you had to beat that entire game with somebody losing their lives only once.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get good enough to what Daryl said, like you can beat Final Fight 2 in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
If you don't die.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's not a very long game, but they just make it incredibly difficult. Yeah. But my second one, bringing it back a little bit, my second one is Shaq Fu.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody has ever said that was a good game. That is just tracks for decades that game is god awful.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah. Shaq Fu fighting, for those that don't know, it's a fighting game. It has Shaquille O'Neal in it. They tried to somehow make a story based on him being sucked into like an alternate dimension and shit. The fighting is awful. Mechanics and like the performance frame rate's garbage. The only thing that I'll give Shaq Fu a little bit of credit for is some of the character designs are actually kind of sweet. There's like a mummy fighter in the game that actually looks pretty cool. Shaq looks ridiculous because he's just dressed as a basketball player.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
his non-branded gear.
Yeah. So that game is hot garbage. They somehow made a sequel to that came out just a couple years ago. I didn't play that. Yeah.
Shaq Fu 2?
Fuck, I can't remember what it's called. Like Shaq Fu Recharged or some shit. I don't know.
Shaq 2 Fu.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
God.
Shaq 2 the Future.
Shaq in a fool.
Oh my god.
So those are my 2 retro games that are just ass.
Okay.
I'll leave my modern
as
one.
The shoes that he sold at Walmart.
Yes.
Subpar.
Yeah.
Okay, Daryl, let's hear your 2 cents.
Well,
Are you gonna piss anybody off?
No, I think
today?
I actually do think if anybody has played this, I am gonna piss somebody off.
Perfect.
I do
Great.
think I'm gonna make somebody mad. Only because if you try to buy this game now, it's incredibly fucking expensive. If you can get an original copy for PS1, I think it's like $300 or $400 right now for the game.
Shit.
If you have the whole thing complete, but it's the game. I tried to play this when I was a kid, and I just get so frustrated. And I love this franchise, and I just like I can remember being so mad that I would smash my controller on the ground, like in
Back before
defeat.
they cost $100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but PS1 and the game is Digimon World, the original Digimon World.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's frustrating because it had a lot of the properties that like the Digimon like handheld device that you could get had. So it's like you had to take the thing to go to the bathroom in the right area. You had to feed it, and you like
Tamagotchi, Kyle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it had all those components, and even if you did it even remotely well, like I finally got it to the point where it was like the thing wasn't sad. I had fed it enough, and I got it to the toilet in time that like it wasn't a complete. It still turned into the poop monster that like, because if it's not 100% healthy, it's not going to become Agumon or like any of the cool ones or like whatever. It is the worst fucking Digimon in the game that you get like instantaneously as it's ready to evolve. That game was so fucking hard and so difficult to figure out as a kid. As an adult, it's like I can navigate it there now, but I remember being like, this is fucked. This game's terrible. And I'm the opposite of Kyle. If I quit a game, that means it's bad. Or like, if I just give up on a game, that game sucks ass, or is like too much, or has too much going on, or something. Because like I don't quit on a game. Like I'll ride it through.
Even a mediocre game, Daryl's like, I fucking paid money for this.
I'm sorry, Daryl. Yeah,
I am beating this
Daryl just platinum Need for Speed.
Unbound.
So
After he just bitched about it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I rescored that game
like,
a 4 out of 10, and I still went back and platinumed the game.
He that was a rage platinum. You just like you were angry about it the whole time, but you did it.
Yeah,
he's got to keep his streak going for the Need for Speed games.
I just needed a
yeah.
little separation from my letdown initially to go back and give it a second
Be let
chance.
down some more.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, Digimon World PS1, super frustrating as a kid. Like, and that game was geared towards the kids because that was like when the cartoon was like fresh and new, and like the whole idea was new.
Yeah.
It was for kids, and this game was incredibly difficult to play. It made no sense.
It's like a Paw Patrol game being like Souls-like.
Yeah, like,
No.
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
We're going to learn today.
And this is before like I could Google what to do and be better at it at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Or, like there was no fucking guide. There was no help.
Yeah, you're not going to buy the $50 strategy guide.
Yeah, like
You're not hopping on Reddit to chat with the community about it.
Yeah,
there was nothing. There was no help, and the tutorial was awful.
He's on a Digimon island by himself.
Yeah, man, that game pissed me off. Just remember swearing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Trevor, do you want to?
All right, I got a kind of a grouping here. They all kind of go together. Key components: PlayStation 3. Kind of a key moment of innovation amongst producers here. PlayStation Move.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, there it is.
How this ties in. So this ties into a couple things. One, just any PlayStation Move game in general was terrible.
What do you mean the glowy wand?
Your maracas?
Dildo.
I actually remember playing that at
Maracas?
your house, Cal. I remember playing.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. It was part of like a set or something. We're like, oh, maybe. Those were just awful. And then coming across ones, I think this was the downfall of a game we hold near and dear that's kind of making a comeback. I don't know if you guys remember Tony Hawk Ride.
Oh, like the peripherals.
No, where you actually got the skateboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never played.
Tricks. I don't think I ever played it because like by that
no.
point, Tony Hawk, like the games had just fallen off,
Yeah.
and they were like, let's try a gimmick to get people back in,
and it was
god-awful.
expensive too.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like an extra $150 or something. It was a lot for essentially a controller specifically to play one game.
Yeah.
They were smarter. They would have just made like a controller that was like a tech deck. Finger ride flip tricks.
Yeah.
I can't believe those are making a comeback too. I was like,
dude, I know.
Yeah, Tech Decks, yeah. I remember with the PlayStation Move, I think Killzone 3, you could play the entire campaign of Killzone 3 with the Move controllers.
No.
And you could duck, couldn't you?
Yeah, and they even came out with like a plastic a rifle that you could put the Move controllers into.
No,
I played that in my apartment building in my bedroom. I played the entire campaign with this plastic gun.
Oh my god!
I thought it was the coolest thing. It worked fucking terrible. But
I have a story about that plastic gun as well. I don't know how we came about it, but we bought someone like Big Buck Hunter.
That was our uncle. So the thing that came up was he was looking for a Blu-ray player, and the thing was at the time the PS3 was the cheapest Blu-ray player
and most reliable.
and best of the time.
Yeah.
They just happened to be able to play games. So we were like, just get a PlayStation. He was like, okay. Yeah, he got the movie.
I love that he like listens to us for tech advice sometimes.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And then we bought him Big Buck Hunter, and then during Christmas we got the whole family to play it.
That's fantastic.
And watching I think I had a video of mom playing Big Buck Hunter, and it was hilarious.
It was pretty good. It was a good time. Seeing a bunch of like boomers playing Big Buck Hunter.
I love when
when
when my parents or like the older generation play something. When I got the one Christmas, my sister and I both got a Wii. Like, which was so funny because
that was a huge hit.
Yeah, and I played like we played all the generic Wii Sports things with my parents that year for Christmas, and my mom like pulled a muscle in her butt playing bowling, like she was trying so hard to do like proper form, like sweep the back leg out and like whatever. And I was just like, holy cow! Yeah, she pulled a muscle. I was dying. I was laughing so hard.
That's going to be us in about 40 years, pulling muscles playing Mario Golf.
And I think that does speak to like Nintendo's accessibility to different generations, because literally everyone had a Wii.
Yeah, it was huge, and that's why PlayStation had it, Xbox had the Kinect.
Yeah,
and then now that's kind of developed into some of the VR stuff, but it was just, at the time like it was not good.
The tech wasn't quite there yet.
There's some concerns that the cameras could obviously there's always concern a camera's turned on when you're not aware of it, and just goofy shit like that.
Well, if you watch the one Paranormal Activity, it's using the Xbox camera to find the ghost.
Yeah.
Hi, FBI guy. You know, we're in Canada. The other one that came up though, because I was looking this up, without a attachment to get the multi-ports, PS3 was also the first generation that you could get 4-player co-op.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Without like the big, the extra bricks for the PS3.
Because it was Bluetooth.
The one for PS2. I have the multiplayer port.
Yeah, you do.
It was Bluetooth. So this is
did we try to use that once?
Yeah, it's just my controllers didn't work.
It's just not good. So my other one is it's a franchise I hold near and dear, but it was the start of games where they kind of forced you to play with many people. It didn't have online, but locally they're like, you need to have 4 people to do this. And you're like, well, fuck. Like, I'm not just going to invite people over to play this for 10 minutes.
I mean, look at how hard it is for us to play games online together.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But now we're adults. We have actual responsibilities.
We got shit to do. But yeah, the one that comes to mind was Ratchet and Clank All for One. It was kind of a side story spin-off. But
it was like a tower defense one, wasn't it?
It had a bunch of features, but there's a lot of stuff where you had to have 4 people to like really progress or get side stuff in the game. You're like, well, shit, I don't even have 4 controllers because I'm broke. But 2 is just like,
I have 4 friends.
I don't have 3 other people who want to come over and play Ratchet and Clank with me. Like,
I didn't realize that
reason.
game was like mandatory 4-player. I didn't realize that.
It wasn't mandatory, but it was sort of like in Little Big Planet still does this a bit, where they're like, you need 4 people to complete this puzzle because of the way that they designed it. And you're just like, well, fuck, okay, I guess I'm not going to get the platinum. I'm never going to do that because I don't have 3 other people with me.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Any other peripheral ones you want to?
No, those
are the 2 big ones.
PlayStation Move and that weird era of like funny ass controllers, because I think that was also like the era of Rock Band and like
yeah.
We were just coming into it. We had no idea what we were in store for.
Donkey Kong bongos.
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
Beat Dark Souls with your new bongo controller.
That's the thing. It's like all these people using
those games.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How?
Did you see that one streamer that beat? I think it was either Elden Ring or one of the Dark Souls twice at the same time.
Yeah.
She was playing once on a dance pad and once on a controller.
Before,
yeah,
we
and
did.
A guy just beat Elden Ring with only walking.
There was just walking.
He couldn't roll. He couldn't run.
How?
All he could do was walk.
There was another
Jesus Christ.
There was another streamer that played every Dark Souls franchise game and had to beat every one of them without getting hit once, and had to do it consecutively. So he beat every game up to Elden Ring and didn't get hit once by anything. Otherwise, he'd have to start at the very beginning in Dark Souls 1.
That sounds terrible. Like,
that sounds awful.
I don't know how you're like. I don't know how you.
I think it took him 2. I think it took him 2 years or 3 years or something like that.
You would have to love those games, or be like one of those obsessive people that like can't not do the task you've just set for yourself.
Yeah. Different breed.
Like
you said, different breed.
Nope.
I think before we go into our big heavy hitters, our general game shite.
I just have a list of shit.
I know. I have a rant prepped.
Oh god.
Oh boy. Yeah. Buckle up, listeners.
And it wasn't for Godfall? I don't know what this is going to be for.
But before we do that, let's chill out a bit and throw a couple coins in the jukebox and see what Trevor's got going for us. Trevor?
Good enough. Jukebox.
All right. Well, compared to like 90% of the jukeboxes, this week is actually not a chill jukebox week.
All right.
Let's get into it. Is it Chucky and Brutal?
It is Chucky and Brutal. It is not Doom or Doom 2. We've already done those. It is one, Kyle, I think you played this game. The game itself you weren't a huge fan of, but I listened to the soundtrack, Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah.
The soundtrack slaps. It's
shit.
They got good musicians to help develop this game. They clearly based it around the soundtrack. It's
solely.
It is an awesome, like heavy metal rock soundtrack.
Yeah, and like some heavy hitters too.
Yeah, they got some really big names. Nothing. I don't know if it necessarily goes as hard as some of Mick Gordon's Doom stuff, but it's on par. It's definitely on par.
But like the music is played in a way that you can like shoot to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like so you can shoot, like you can be like on beat with it to get more points.
You get like so it's like a score multiplier thing with this game.
If you stay on beat with your kills.
Interesting.
Sort of like what was the game you talked about on Treasure Trove the other week? The shooter.
Yeah, Soundfall. Yeah.
Same
kind
very
of
similar
thing.
to that. It's just first person shooter Doom meets a rhythm game.
Right.
But yeah, if anyone's looking for something like that hits a little harder than some of the other treasure troves I've mentioned, Metal Hellsinger, check it out.
Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah.
Get it.
Nice.
Okay. Do you guys want to go first, or do you want to leave me to lead this off with
I'm
this
intrigued now. I gotta know.
Yeah, I think we got to know.
Okay, so this is a game and a category, and they're the worst. they're the worst, not for the game and gameplay itself, but for what it did to video games and the market as a whole.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about Fortnite and free-to-play shooters.
Yep.
I will, number one, they were under investigation for predatory practices, like selling skins and shit to kids and making it very difficult to comprehend menus, tricking people into buying shit, which is shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, between like the streamer culture and like the sweat culture that it created, it ruined a lot of video games because you can no longer play things casually at all. Every fucking Call of Duty lobby you join, there's some sweaty, like drop shotting, slide canceling, 360 no scoping fucker that's just like either
life to this game.
Oh my god, yeah. And it's everyone trying to make their big break on Twitch when, like, really, if you weren't in it from a very early stage, you're probably not gonna make it big.
Yeah, you got no chance.
Yeah.
Like, but like everyone's streaming Warzone and Fortnite. It's like nobody fucking cares. There's a billion people streaming the same shit. Right? Stream something different. Do something completely different. Be different. You know,
I think you can add in just live service games into your free to play category there too.
I was actually waiting for that because it's kind of a caveat. Is I mean, and there wasn't that long ago. There was just an article put out about like how live service games have ruined gaming from one of the online media sharks there. And I don't disagree. I think live service games have taken away exactly what gaming was originally all about, and I think it's ruining the culture.
Yeah, because they're releasing these games that aren't finished. They're like, oh, we'll just they're not like a finished, fine-tuned product anymore. They're just like, we'll just fix it as we go, but then don't really fix it, and then stretch their resources too thin, and then all of a sudden we're like, what the fuck is this game?
Yeah.
Well, they're also trying to hoard your time, right? I mean, as
time and money.
As adults, into not being able to play anything else.
Yeah. Like
and therefore you will then want to spend money here.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, is to truly get the full scope of a lot of those games, you need to put a minimum 40 hours into them just to even scratch the surface. Yeah. And, for somebody like Kyle, who doesn't have a lot of time,
that doesn't
it's
work
just
anymore.
It's just not a feasible thing for a lot of people.
It's not like we're not guilty of playing some, like I link World of Warcraft into that category.
I played that,
And
I don't want to talk about
that game. Basically, like games like that make it impossible for you to play anything else, because if you're not invested completely and holistically into that game, like you're just going to get left behind.
Especially if you've joined a larger group and have obligations to, say, like a guild.
It's like a second job.
It is.
It's a second life.
It's why I was never really that good at those games, because I just never invested the time. I wanted to hang with my buddies. I wanted to kill stuff and get things, but it's I struggle in particular with games that have no real ending, or like no finality to all the equipment or weapons or things you can get. Like if there is nothing concretely that finishes the game, I don't typically play those because I can't.
Yeah.
My brain does not compute.
I'd rather finish a game and replay it versus just continue to play the game for forever.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we differ a bit, because like World of Warcraft for me, like I had to quit. Because like once I started getting into real life and university, like later when I needed to focus on it more, it's like I can't keep playing this because I don't have the commitment.
Yeah,
but it was a lot of fun. I had a great time.
Last year I played it, you and I had a great time.
Yes, we did.
I'm in the same boat as Daryl. I got into World of Warcraft because I had a group of friends that were playing it and kind of encouraged me in. But after the first probably month or two, I got left behind because, I I mean, everybody knows my treasure trove. I've got a million games that I always want to check out and play. And so, every time I would go back to WoW, I was like 10 or 12 levels below everybody else that I was running with. And then so I just got to a point where it was like, I can't keep up. And I'm not going to play this game solely forever. Like, I just can't do that.
No, I like other things.
Yeah. I like to dabble in everything.
Sometimes you're just curious about other games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortnite kind of. Yeah. Well, and it's like Fortnite has changed so much too, I think, over time, and has somehow has every brand possible collaborating with them and giving
the amount
them
of
the rights to put their characters in it, which I still don't understand how they manage that.
Like Marvel and
DC and like
DC.
Dragon Ball Z.
How?
Everything.
Like anime.
It's just
tons
pop
of anime.
culture hub.
Just like that alone, getting all of that into one thing alone is actually a feat.
Crazy.
I don't know if we'll ever be matched. Like the closest thing I can think of is like Hot Wheels, because they've done so many brand collaborations with companies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how the hell are you like? And Lego, and Lego, like
But Lego isn't one game, right? It's not like Lego universe, and then there's just fucking everything.
And Lego is a physical thing you can hold and you own. It's not
Lego
some
video games.
Oh,
there's also that.
Yeah. But like people buying all these skins and stuff. It's like, well, what happens when you stop playing? Yeah. What happens when you stop playing? You get nothing. It's just this digital thing that lives online in this game that you don't see any money from ever again. If I buy a Lego set that is branded or whatever, I can resell that shit, right, Daryl?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never done that in my life.
It's a physical thing that retains value.
Yeah.
Yes, it's cool if you like buy a skin once in a while that you like, say, like some D&D themed Fall Guys stuff, or whatever, like once in a while. But like people, like kids getting tricked into dropping like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Thousands. Absurd.
Yeah, I agree. No more live service games. Developers, quit fucking.
Let's move on, because I could rant about this shit forever.
This is essentially a replay of our cell phone gaming episode.
Yep.
Stop it. Just fucking stop it.
Yeah. Yep. Don't like it. Actually,
I got another.
I wrote that down as like an honorable mention. Any mobile game previous to 2020. It's like honorable mention. I hated it.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Okay, Trev, you're gonna go.
I'm coming in hot with one. I don't think anyone here really plays this franchise, but it's definitely a beloved franchise that I think gets way too much hype. Mostly because it's on. To follow the franchise, you had to play it on like 6 different consoles, on games that don't make sense. It's sort of, to me, it is Fortnite. It is they're putting in characters and then creating a story just to justify selling the game and putting in these characters.
I think I know what it is. I think I know.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think he's going to say Kingdom Hearts. But
yeah.
Like, I've played a couple of them. The gameplay is kind of fun. Like, it's a fun kind of JRPG style game. But, like, it can be harder to get into. But then, like, when you, like, I've seen people that, I can't remember the other podcast, but the one woman, like, wrote a book about the story, because it is apparently there's a very deep story there. But I'm like, there's no way people thought this through from the beginning. They pieced it together with a bunch of random bullshit so that they could put it
there's a bunch of fan fiction mixed in with the actual
pretty much, right? You've got
I just hope it's not like slash fiction with like
we've got Kingdom Hearts 1 and then like 1.5 that was on the Nintendo DS. And if you didn't play that, you don't know the story for Kingdom Hearts 3, and you have to play them in a specific order. And it's just like, fuck, like this is so fucking ridiculous.
And you're not wrong. Like there's that, I looked it up before because I was like, oh, this collection is on PlayStation. Like maybe I'll check it out. It was dirt cheap for a couple of them. The one I was like, oh, maybe I'll give it a dabble. Like, and then I looked at the games and the stories, and you're 100% right. There's some games that were only available for certain consoles, one was like mobile only, one was the DS. Like,
and it actually has like
How
this
the
is
hell?
canon like story to it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, then they did all the they did remix ones for the PS4, so they took like previous games and like redid the story and packaged them together into one. And
But then they change things, and that's like like there's people that have gone way into too much into the lore on this. I'm like, you could just call them separate games and have them be different adventures. Like that's allowed. They don't have to be continuous.
It's the multiverse
honestly,
of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like that's honestly what they should have done. Is they should have taken the Final Fantasy approach, and it's just like an anthology type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe these two are together, but these ones are completely separate. Like, if it's in the same,
they can exist in their own.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago when I think the last one came out on the PS4. I watched a recap video of the story, which was like 20 or 25 minutes long. I watched the entire thing, and I still couldn't tell you what the fuck is going on in that universe. I have no idea. Like, it is convoluted as hell.
All I know is Donald Duck is a fucking pedophile and needs to put on some pants.
It is weird. It's like
it's
Final Fantasy mixed with like Disney, which I just to me don't correlate. Like,
so it's weird.
Yeah, they don't.
It's weird.
Like, you got Goofy just like punching someone in the face. So it's just like, that seems odd.
Yeah.
Goofy, that's not very kind. Hot dog.
It's sort of like multiverses, like seeing like SpongeBob and Patrick like slap somebody. It's like, this doesn't make sense to me.
That's also on my list.
Yeah, that made the cut for me too.
And I think that still qualifies as a game as a service.
It is a live service game. Yeah.
Sweaty online.
Didn't it get which one got shut down? Isn't there one that they've already said they're not like supporting anymore?
Multiverses was a beta, apparently.
Yeah, it was in beta for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Rumbleverse got shut down already.
Yeah, which also on my list.
Yeah. It was fun for a bit, and then it got sweaty, and it was just like, this is people got way too fine-tuned with stuff, and I just wanted to elbow drop people off of buildings.
So here's my only stake that, like, if you're gonna have these games, these your PUBGs, your Fortnites, your Rumbleverse, if you're gonna have these things where you're always gonna go into a random group of people, it needs to have models that follow some of like the old like Halo stuff, like in Call of Duty. You need to have matchmaking. Like, you need to have an ability to see like some sort of ranking system, whatever it is. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But you should be put into groups with a similar ranking, or like played hours, or type of player, or like whatever. Like, you should be put into these groups, because otherwise your game becomes very quickly unenjoyable for a larger group of people.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing too.
I was gonna say that's particularly why I stopped playing the most recent Call of Duty. Is because every time I'd log in, even if I played multiplayer, like, I wasn't even like prestige max level. I would log in at level 30, and I'd be playing with guys who were like level 300, had everything unlocked. And especially people who play Call of Duty will know you are at a very distinct disadvantage early on because you have no attachments, you got nothing. And so I'd log in and be like, this fucking sucks. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why are you putting me in this lobby?
One of the best examples I have that did matchmaking right is Rainbow Six Siege, like a 4v4 game. That game has a very strict, like, ladder based rank mode, and then it's got like a casual mode as well. So all the sweaty guys play ranked because they want to get that little asterisk number. You know?
Even those two components, very helpful. Even in like, I go ham in Mortal Kombat, and like the sweats play ranked. Everybody else plays every other mode.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. That is a beautiful system.
So I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I don't give a shit if I'm a bronze. I'm only going to be here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, at least let me play other bronzes. Don't necessarily put me with like a bunch of dudes in platinum. And I'm like, I haven't even unlocked all the guns. This
Yeah.
guy's got fucking rainbow obsidian sapphire, whatever it's called. just like absolutely destroying me. I'm like, cool.
Well, yeah,
this is
and that's the other thing
I'm
too, is that like
copper and I'm playing against double diamond over here. Like,
yeah.
You've been here
and
for
the
8 hours today. I got home from work 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I just want to relax.
the thing with that though is that whole sweat culture, when they do get into those ranked settings, they're no longer seen as these gods because they're playing against people with similar skill levels.
Yeah.
So they stop doing that, so they can just go shit on like all these noobs because it's like, well, look how good I am, internet.
But that's the thing, is like
Twitch.
that's where matchmaking still needs to be more refined, because even
needs to be better.
Even going into a casual game mode, you should still be matched up against guys that are at a similar level and similar time played as you.
But that's also the thing, because like, you know, say playing Warzone with us together, I would join you and it would pull me up.
Yeah,
right?
It's like party play based off of who's in your set
it screws it up so much.
It is always going to screw that up. Whereas like if you were to just go in by yourself that one night and go play, you should be against the other level 10s. Or like, you know,
and
like,
I think there was a mercenary mode in one of the previous Call of Duties where it was like you couldn't group up. You couldn't have a 4 stack or 6 guys together. It was everyone joined solo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I kind of appreciated that, because like, okay, like, yeah, this one guy on their team's like really fucking good. Great. But I still have a chance against these other guys.
Yeah. Actually, Overwatch did that pretty well. I mean, the Overwatch gameplay got kind of annoying, and Overwatch 2 isn't really a sequel
thing anymore.
No, their system was good. They're like, you went up, you went down, you're in your rank, here's who you're playing against. You're like, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daryl, you have a lengthy list.
Daryl's got a list.
I had a bunch of stuff. Well, we've already talked about a few of them, which is fantastic. So I don't really have to worry about some of them. I wanted to talk about NBA 2K Playgrounds. I thought was a hot piece of shit.
Yeah.
It was on my list too. Such a piece of shit.
WWE Battlegrounds was fucking terrible, and I like playing WWE
that was
games.
really bad.
That
was awful.
Yeah,
I lasted 24 minutes. I timed it. 24 minutes. That's all I could do, and it was done. That was it.
That's shocking for Daryl.
Yeah.
And then this one is like I've shit on this game before, but I will never.
And you'll shit on it again.
I will never stop shitting on this game because I hate it. I hate it so much. That's Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I fucking hate that game.
So bad.
I didn't even play that one. I think I stayed
so
far away from it.
It's so bad.
I think you took the bullet on that one for us. We're like, oh, maybe we should look at this one. There's a new Marvel vs. Capcom coming out. Yeah. And then you're like, don't.
That's the exact conversation. I can see Kyle's eyes lighting up. He's like, oh my God, Marvel vs. Capcom. You're like, don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
It was like
best characters that were introduced into the game were paywalled as like buy after characters.
They were like $10 a character too.
Which that's fucking trash.
Expensive.
Exactly. Ridiculous. And I was like, I just wanted to play as Venom, but I'm not paying another $10 on top of this piece of shit game I already had the unfortunate pleasure of purchasing to try and get one redeeming quality out of it.
Yeah.
It was like the story mode sucked. The story was fucking terrible. The final boss was the dumbest thing I think I've ever fucking seen. It was like Ultron mixed with some robot piece of shit from Sonic's World. It was
Ultron being driven by Professor what's his name?
Dr. Robotnik.
It was the
Ultron.
It was the entanglement of those two ideas put together into this like one. So the boss is on one side of the screen, and you're just like jumping and moving around trying to avoid laser beams, and it drives out for a second, and you're like, fucking terrible game. Fuck you, Marvel, Capcom, and Infinite.
You ruined my life.
Terrible fucking game.
That's one of the only shitty games that I never bought, but I saw the collector's edition at a game store once, and I almost bought it because it had like statue figures with infinity stones, and like it was actually a pretty fucking legit collector's edition.
Throw the game out, just keep the statue.
I just want those. Yeah.
Just buy the collector's edition, then immediately trade in the game.
I asked the guy working there, I was like, "Okay, no, nobody's gonna buy that because it's a shitty game." I was like, "Can I negotiate with you on price? Like, I'll just take it off your hands."
Yeah,
it's a good deal. But I'm with Daryl on that. That game is a hot piece of garbage.
I hate that game.
All right, so we're gonna leave Daryl seething for a second.
Take us home, Jordan.
Yeah, we're gonna get Jordan to take us home here.
All right, so I got two kind of more modern games that I wanted to talk about. The first one, I'm curious if any of you even played this, but it was on the PS3 called X-Men Destiny.
I didn't play a lot of PS3. It was a dark time in my life.
So, X-Men Destiny was kind of touted as like a third-person action game in the X-Men universe. They wrote a unique story where you played like let's call it a generic X-Men character. Like you're recruited into the school, and it had like Mass Effect kind of dialogue. So you had to like choose answers, and it would kind of weave the story and everything. That game is fucking booty cheeks from hell. Like, not only was it in development hell forever, like I think it got delayed half a dozen times. It took, 6 or 7 years for it to come out. It was so bad that the developer that made it shut down and closed after the game.
Oh,
like that developer doesn't exist anymore.
Dang.
They didn't make another game after that. That was the last one for that group.
What year is that? Did Disney?
Well, you crushed it when?
No,
did they get ha-ha'd? I don't
know. Yeah, I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was like maybe 06 or something like that.
Yeah, PS3, yeah.
But
I just looked up some photos. It looks not good.
It was just really bad. It launched unfinished too, and like that was in the early stages of games having updates and patches, and I don't even think they tried to patch that game. Like it would crash every hour, and there were some game-breaking bugs where you couldn't even finish the story if they popped up.
Great.
So it was the greatest.
So
Perfect.
like just fucking terrible. And I was so excited to get a new modern age X-Men game. And yeah, just
what a letdown.
I'm watching gameplay right now.
It's not good. No.
Oh my god, what a piece of shit.
But like Mass Effect, did it have 3 different endings in 3 different colors?
Could you hook up with other mutants?
I mean, if the game was made properly, then yeah, maybe it would have been. But so that's my first one. My second one is it makes me angry. Mighty Number 9. This was a Kickstarter game by the creator of Mega Man.
Oh no!
And he tried to make a Mega Man type game, and got funded on Kickstarter. And that game is based. I look at it, and if I see screenshots, to me it's like the Paw Patrol meets Fortnite version of a Mega Man game. Like it just looks super childish, and the enemy design and art style is fucking terrible. You look like you're playing some deranged kid that got fucking kicked off the front stoop of his house and told not to come back, and then he turned into a robot. Like just some stupid ass looking kid.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Hobo Robo.
Robo.
So yeah, this game I bought on a whim, just based off of, kind of being like a Mega Man type game. And yeah, I don't even think I made it an hour into it.
Ooh.
Like, it's just so
Hey,
bad.
can I return this for full price? Because it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it just, honestly, playing a game like that, it makes me want to pull out the dusty Super Nintendo that's been in a drawer and put in Mega Man X from 1992 and play that, because it's better.
Do it.
Substantially better.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that one hurts my soul that I paid money for, because it was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's your two. That's a lot of shit in one episode, guys.
We've given you a bunch of things not to play, people, and if you love live service games, I am sorry, but I'm not really that sorry. I don't agree with you.
No. If we missed any,
I'm sure we did. So please let us know.
Let us know. Let us know. I'm sure there's other shit out there that we could look at and laugh at for how bad it is. But once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us rant about the most ridiculous shit again. Always a good time.
Yeah.
Always. And I think that was good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at GEG Podcast. Check out our website, goodenoughgaming.com, and write us an email about anything from our episodes or something you would like us to discuss in the future. You can also now join us on Discord on the Good Enough Gaming Discord server. We really appreciate you listening and hope you continue to join us on this epic adventure of discussing all things gaming and nerdy. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to your podcasts, and rate us 5 stars so we can find more good enoughers in the process. Just remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.